And joining us now for more on all this is former U.S. Border Patrol Chief Ron Vitiello. He served as the acting director of Immigration and Customs Enforcement under former President Trump. Ron, thanks so much for being here. You have so much experience along the border. How bad is it going to be on May 11th when Title 42 expires?
Well, thanks for inviting me. It's already very bad at the border. You know, you said in your earlier remarks that they had 50,000 encounters just last week in 7 days. That's about 7,000+ people every 24 hours. And we know that Title 42 is being used sparingly now, but it gives the Border Patrol a mission advantage. It allows them to adjudicate cases and expel people in a quicker manner. So they can do that within an hour. When Title 42 goes away, that ability to expel people back into Mexico or back home will end. And so that process that could take an hour now or less will now take up to 3 hours. And so that's going to overwhelm an already overwhelmed system as it relates to the logistics of taking people into custody and then adjudicating them through the process.
I mean, we keep hearing people predicting this nightmare scenario of like suddenly the floodgates open. Do you think it'll be that dramatic?
Well, if they got 50,000 last week, and we know there are people, open source reporting, right? There are people covering this in the pipeline in Colombia, in the Darien Gap, and in Mexico. They say there are tens of thousands of people in the pipeline who are waiting to cross after Title 42 sunset. So whether they believe what's going to happen, some of them are going to get sent home. Many of them are going to be released. That's what the incentive is, to be released into the United States. And this administration is on record. The secretary is on record saying that if you're in the country illegally, ICE is not going to look for you. So we've sent a signal to the globe that now is the time to come across the border illegally. We've always had trouble inside of the immigration framework, the way the law is operationalized as it relates to asylum claims. But they've made it much, much worse with the choices that they've made and the policies that they ripped down.
The Biden administration announced these new processing centers this week at key choke points in Colombia and Guatemala to screen migrants before they ever get close to the border to see if they qualify for asylum. Will that help? Do you think this will work?
Well, just think about it. If you sell everything you own, you live in a place like Venezuela, you sell everything you own and promise to pay a smuggler thousands of dollars, you make it to the processing center in Colombia, which doesn't exist right now. You go to the processing center in Colombia, you ask the U.S. government if you're qualified for asylum, and then they tell you no. Are you going to go all the way back home to your non-existent home and goods that you've promised away to the smuggler? No, it's not going to keep them out of the pipeline because the asylum laws are very specific. If you're being persecuted by your government or on religious or political reasons, then you can qualify to be a refugee and asylee in the United States. Most of these folks are coming for economic reasons. They're in the pipeline because they believe they can make it to the U.S. border without without being affected by the dangerous journey and be released into the United States, because that's happening every single day. So thousands come, thousands get away without seeing law enforcement, and then thousands are released in the United States. That causes a vicious cycle of people calling back home and inviting the relatives to come because they've made it. They've made it onto this economy, and that's what they're looking for. And this administration has refused to use any step or measure to disincentivize that activity. And these processing centers are maybe a Band-Aid for some people, and it may screen for people who actually qualify for asylum, but the thousands and thousands of people in the pipeline will not be convinced. They already made a deal with the devil when they tell the smuggler they want to come to the United States.
Bottom line, Ron, I mean, you worked under the Trump administration. You're outlining and we see every day the problems under the Biden administration. Don't we really need congressional reform, some sort of coherent border policy to be passed through Congress in order to get this chaos under control?
You have to do it all. You have to resource the problem, you have to set the policies in place that work, and then Congress has to work on the framework so that these loopholes in asylum claims can be closed, that they get enough resources into my former department when I worked at ICE, enough detention to hold people, because if they qualify for asylum, we want them to wait and have their hearing and let a judge decide what happens to them. We don't want them to put themselves into the hands of a smuggler. We want to disincentivize those illegal border crossings, and there's only a couple of ways to do that. The Remain in Mexico program was effective. It led to 45-year lows in activity at our southwest border. Or you can detain people so that they can see their judge. And if you end that if you end those incentives, then it stops people from selling what they have and putting their lives at danger into the hands of a smuggler.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.